Hi, and welcome back. So, this series is full of amazing, epic, monumental moments that shift the foundation of the world that has been created, that move the plot forward, that delve deep into the lore. But the story is also full of wonderful, smaller moments that, if you took them out, maybe not much would change in the plot, but with them there, they add texture and flavor to the world. And that's what this video is about. My top 5 favorite small moments in Wheel of Time that I hope make it to the series. So I'm going to start off with, of course, number 5. And as I am wont to do with my fuzzy rules for my own videos, it's not a moment. This one is actually just something that exists in the stories that you could take out for the series, and little would probably change, but I hope they keep in, and that is the music and the storytelling. Of course, in these stories, one of our main characters is Thom, and Thom is a musician, a bard, and a storyteller. That's his job. He's a glee man, and I really hope that we not only hear about this, but that we actually get to see him perform. I hope that we get to hear his music, but with Thom, actually what I really, really want to see is his storytelling. I would love to hear him reciting the Hunt for the Horn or some tale that he is telling. I would love to hear that skill and experience it. And of course, music. I want to hear Thom sing. I want to hear the Aiel sing. I want to hear the Ogier sing. I want, in the vision of Ruidian, to see the original Aiel song. Of course, Dance with Jack of the Shadows. I, like many nerds here, watched The Witcher, and Toss a Coin to Your Witcher was an earworm that I could not get out of my head for weeks, and now that I've said it, I probably will have it in my head again for a while. I think that Wheel of Time definitely could have something in that vein, several songs in that vein that show up season by season. Number 4, again, with my fuzzy rules, not exactly a moment, there's a few moments of this, and that is Rand's school. I love Rand's school. I love the fact that, of course, we as readers can see what they are making. We see, oh, that's a steam engine. Oh, they're experimenting with electricity. That's fun and interesting. But it's also the fact that Rand has made this school because of his, well, they say it in the books, his desire to leave something behind. I mean, of course, the man is saving the world. He doesn't need to do this, but his desire to leave a tangible legacy, I think, is understandable. And the fact that it comes in the form of these schools that have these interesting inventions and areas of study, I think that this is worth keeping. Now to my number 3. And the number 3 on my list is a strange one because it's a scene that I love that I don't understand why I love it so much. It's the scene where Perrin is blacksmithing. Is blacksmithing the verb of blacksmith? I don't know. I am not a blacksmith, but he is blacksmithing or working metal or whatever in Tyr. And the scene is incredibly detailed, to him like tasting for salt in the water and picking the right tools to use by weight and choosing his apron. It gets into like the nitty-gritty of what a blacksmith would do, and I have no idea how accurate it is because, as I mentioned, not a blacksmith, but it feels accurate, and it is almost too detailed, but it's not. I love it, and it goes on for a really long time. Just him making a hammer. And it's not particularly necessary, but it's great. I love the glimpse that this gives us of who Perrin is, the way it calms him. You see his single-minded focus. The fact that you see that he's a good blacksmith, that it's not just this thing that he did when he was a kid, or I guess a few months ago back in Emmons Field, because, that was what his parents wanted him to do, or whatever. No, he's actually good at it, and it is something that he would be satisfied with if that was to be his life. You can sort of see that in this scene. I mean, those are all things that are good. None of those things is enough to quite explain how much I love this scene. And I would love, actually, to read comments from people who can maybe help me understand what it is about this scene that just makes me so happy when I read it. It's a weird thing to ask. Please tell me why I feel this way, but I don't fully understand it. I really love this scene. And as much as I think it is not particularly necessary, I think it adds so much to who Perrin is, and it just adds, well, like I said, it adds texture and flavor. My number 2 scene is a scene that comes at the end of a storyline that has gone on for way too long, a storyline that is known in the fandom as the plotline of death, the storyline where Faile and Morgase and Alejandra and company get kidnapped by the Shido. That storyline just goes on forever. But it is almost made worth it for me because of this one scene. It's not quite worth it. I think the storyline could definitely be condensed, but in the condensing, I hope this scene specifically does not get lost. And this scene is where Morgase and Faile, and I think it's Alejandra, fall into a collapsed building while they are trying to escape. And they can't get out. There's no way for them to get out, so they have to alert somebody on the outside that they are trapped in the bottom of the building. But again, the only way to alert them is for someone to see them from outside. So they ask Morgase to use her ability to channel to cause the flag on the top of the building to wave in a way that would not be natural, so that someone will come to investigate. We know, of course, from the books that Morgase is a channeler, but her ability is virtually non-existent. It takes her an intense amount of effort just to reach the source. And so she tries for hours, and she has sporadic success and causes the flag to wave. And after hours and hours of this sporadic success and intense effort, somebody does come and rescue them. And afterwards, Faile gives credit and says, it really was Morgase that saved us. She was amazing. She pushed through and was able to do this thing with the flag. I love that the narrative takes time to recognize Morgase's effort. So often, people with bigger abilities and bigger strengths, their accomplishments are recognized. Like Rand destroys an entire fleet of Trollocs by himself with Death Gates. And it's incredible when Rand does that. Like, holy crap, wow. But he probably used way less effort in that moment than Morgase did in these hours, because he has more ability. Morgase put in more effort to cause a flag to wave slightly in a weird way than he did to kill and slaughter hundreds of thousands of Shadow Spawn. This is something that I think often gets overlooked. Even in real life, it's a thing that gets overlooked. People who have natural ability, their accomplishments are celebrated more than people who have to try really hard to do less. Not only that, I love that the fact that this moment of victory is given to Morgase. I may talk about this in another video, but I do feel Morgase's storyline in these books is probably, it's one of the darkest, if not the darkest. The things that this woman has been through, it's intense and disturbing what this woman has been through. And so they give her this moment of victory, and the book takes time to, like, we're going to focus on the fact that this woman did an amazing thing. And as small as it may seem, what she did was incredible. And now we're down to my number 1. My number 1 scene, actually it's, again, with my fuzzy rules, it's something that doesn't only happen once, but there is one specific scene that is my favorite one of these instances. It's the scenes where Matt ends up speaking the old tongue without realizing it, and then it gets revealed later, like right after in the narrative, that that's what he was doing. I love the way those scenes are written. I'm going to read through the dialogue of my favorite one of these scenes. It is between Matt and Birgitte. You are she, Birgitte for true. Burn my bones to ash. It's impossible. How? How? I was ripped out untimely, Horn Sounder. Cast out by Mogideon to die, and saved by Elaine's bonding. I feared you might remember who I used to be. Elaine and Nynaeve know and kept it from me. True? I weary of secrets, Birgitte, and they harbor secrets as a grain barn harbors rats. They've become Aes Sedai, eyes and hearts. Even Nynaeve is twice a stranger now. You have your own secrets. For one, you've not told them you blew the horn of Valir. The smallest of your secrets from them, I think. What secrets do I have? Those women know my toenails in dreams. Make them see reason. You're Birgitte Silverbow. You can make them do as you say. This city has a pit trap at every crossing, and I fear the stakes grow sharper by the day. Make them come away before it's too late. You have the wrong end, Horn Sounder. I do not command them. I am Elaine's warder. I obey. Birgitte Silverbow. Faith of the light, I'm not sure I still am that woman. So much of what I was and knew has faded like mist beneath the summer sun since my strange new birth. I'm no hero now, only another woman to make my way. And as for your secrets, what language do we speak, Horn Sounder? I love that reveal at the end, that she throws it at his feet like that. What language do we speak? And I love how it is unraveled in the next scene. As I'm not going to try and read the old tongue, but as he unravels the syntax and realizes what has been happening. A first-time reader probably reading the scene might notice that, oh, there's something odd with the way they are speaking suddenly, and to have this revealed like this is great. It's a scene I actually don't quite know. I have some ideas of how this might be done in the series. What I am afraid they will do is just have them speaking the old tongue and have the reveal be for Matt at the end. I kind of hope they don't do that, because I like that there is a reveal not only for Matt, but for the reader, or I guess in the case of the series, but for the viewer as well. The reviewer gets to have that reveal at the same time as Matt, and I like that. And I hope that they don't take the easy route and just have them speaking the old tongue. I hope that they find a way to have the reveal done in the same way as the books. So yeah, those are my favorite small scenes. I'd love to hear yours. There are so many. I mean, it's 15 books in this series. There are going to be probably hundreds of small scenes, and I'd love to read yours. I love talking about this series, as I'm sure you've guessed by the fact that I made this channel in the first place. So yeah, please let me know. And as always, like, subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you back. Bye!